Good evening, and welcome to Amateur Radio Roundtable, a show about ham radio, shortwave radio, technology, and all sorts of things like that. I'd like to say hello to our shortwave listeners on world famous WBCQ on 7940 kilohertz, and please subscribe to our channel on YouTube and join our Facebook group for ham radio, which is called Amateur Radio Roundtable, or simply search for W5KUB in Facebook. Tom Medlin, who normally runs the show, is cruising in the Mediterranean. He's not going to be in the studio tonight, so we are using a backup app which is called Talk Studio, formerly called Millen, and running the show that way. There are probably going to be some glitches, so please bear with us if there are. We'll try to go through everything. We've got some updates for you from Tom, and got some Hamfest slides and things like that. So anyway, let's get started. I have with me Glenn Popeil, the Arduino guru, and well, Glenn, how are you doing tonight?
Doing real good. Interesting thing. I got to see my doctor, my cardiologist last week, and he changed my medications, and it's night and day. And all he did was double the dosage. I've been fighting some stuff for like 5 years, and this is the best I have felt in forever. So doing real good. Of course, went to the Hamfest this weekend we can talk about, and that was a lot of fun. So things are just rolling right along.
Oh, fantastic. And I've been climbing on a lot of roofs. For those who don't already know, I am a wireless internet service provider. And so, besides climbing up on roofs to do ham radio stuff, I also climb up to connect people to the internet. And well, the roofs here are snowy in Laramie. You'll notice I'm wearing my parka today. It was very cold outside, and I had to brush away the snow to climb up on the roofs to provide people with internet. But we don't let that stop us. And so I was up there doing that today, doing site surveys and putting up radios and trying not to break my neck.
That's
So
the important part.
oh yes, and we also have an update from Tom, which I can run. He sent us some video from the cruise ship. I'm not sure exactly where he is now. I think somewhere. I think he's headed for Rome right now. And well, let's hear what he has to say. I've got video here.
Hello, everybody. This is Tom, W5KUB. It's somewhere in the Mediterranean Sea. Don't know where. I'm in the cabin here on ship, and I put together a few little clips and some pictures just for the show tonight, just to give you an update on kind of what's been going on the last few days. So let me just go ahead and run that. I'll be back here in just a moment. Day 15, I think, of our 20-day trip around the Mediterranean. We were supposed to go into Croatia today, but the weather turned bad on us. We've had 15 or 16 days of this beautiful weather, and today the winds were up around 65 kilometers per hour, so they couldn't take the ship into the bay. So we had to skip Croatia today, so we're gonna have 2 days on sea, and we'll end up somewhere in Italy tomorrow. We've got a couple more days on here, but there's a little bit. The cruise has been very smooth. Today there's a little bit of rocking, maybe 4 or 5 degrees of the ship. You can kind of feel it if you're standing up, but nothing serious. We've been on cruises where it was difficult to walk down the hallway. We'd be bouncing from one side of the wall to the other side of the wall, but it's not too bad today, and it's been a nice trip. So you can see a little bit of the ocean there off my balcony here, and that's about it. I hope you enjoy the slideshow we put together for you. Okay, we'll get into just some still pictures here that are taken. We've done hundreds of pictures. I picked out maybe 20 pictures or so here just to give you kind of a feel for where we've been and kind of what we've seen. First, let me do this. Let me first, yeah, here we go. All right, just want to let you guys know this is kind of the locations we visited here, mostly in Greece, Italy, Turkey, Tunisia. We went to some interesting places like Pompeii, or yeah, and uh, we saw a lot of ancient ruins and a lot of things that we've never really got to see in our lifetime. So that's the locations there that we're presently going to. We've got a couple left to go to. Uh, just to give you an idea of where we've been, here's a map that shows our our selling path, I guess you might say. So you can pretty much see we've been all over the Mediterranean there from uh, you know all the different countries there all the way around, and we pretty much have covered it all. The weather's been pretty good. It's been nice and sunny, and temperatures probably in the high 70s the whole time that we've we've been out there. So let's see. Let me start some slideshow up here and let you see a few pictures. Hey, the cars over here aren't as big as the cars in the U.S. This is a typical, I won't say it's typical, but it's a little interesting car. The cars are a lot smaller over here. This is a two-door model here, I guess. Maybe a one person. I don't know, man. Don't know. There's a picture of our ship there, the Princess uh, cruise ship, and docked there at one of the harbors, one of the bays. Here's a quick picture. If you've never been on a cruise ship, it's very elaborate inside. Here's a picture of looking down. This is the center of the ship, and you're looking down to multiple floors here, and you can see all the different floors and all the different architecture and stuff that they put in here. This is up on the upper deck. This is like deck 14, or yeah, deck 14, I think. I don't know how they got the big screen TV down here, but man, in the daylight, in the sunlight, that screen is so bright you can see it 100 yards away. Uh, must be a pretty good display. Do that. The cruise ship here has two swimming pools on it on this floor. We went to Pompeii. Yeah, this is Pompeii is where the volcano erupted, and it just killed everybody in town, buried the town in volcanic ash. These are some of the uh, castings of the people as they were found once the all the ash was removed and they discovered and found the city. So there's a lot of different bodies there. These are people they're lying together. There are people separately. There are even uh, stoves where people were cooking bread. You can actually see the loaves of bread that they were cooking back then. Here's outside. This is the theater or whatever in Pompeii. All this was under ash. In fact, you can see the volcano in the background there. This is all under ash. Believe me, that's a pretty deep thing of ash, and you wonder where it went. Well, they took all this ash and they built roads with it, and they took the ash and volcanic rock all over the country and built roads with it. This is inside the uh, don't know if it's called a Coliseum or theater, but you can see the seats up there, and this is where the gladiators. Here they fought animals, any animals that were native to this area of the country. Uh, they killed animals out there. If you really can't see it, but if you look on the steps over there, right on the front edge, there's actually names carved in. Those are like box seats. There were actually names carved in. We can see the names of the people from 2,000 years ago that was their box. Oh, let me stop this thing. Stop it, stop it, stop it. So that's outside. The rich people had their own door to go in, and then of course the poor people had their own back door that they had to go in. There's the volcano there that erupted and covered this area. Now we're getting into Tunis in Tunisia. This is in northern Africa. This is one of the tops we made. Didn't take too many pictures there, but you can see a lot of the architecture there is the dome architecture. And of course, all the buildings in this part of the world are painted white to reflect heat. And here we are here. If what kind of bird is that? I forget the name of the bird, but hey, we could have probably paid and held the bird there and got a close-up view. But I shot this guy with kind of a telephoto lens. If he'd known I'd taken his picture, he'd have probably chased me down for some money, some euros or whatever. Most of the countries here use euros. There's a few that are not taking euros. And here we are in Corfu, Greece. That's a big fort up on top of the hill there. Bicycles were big transportation in this part of the world. A lot of bicycles out there. This one here has got a lot of miles on it. As I was walking down the little alleys and streets here in the town, I noticed these antennas, and I kind of did a telephoto shot of these antennas. To me, that looks like a 2 meter and a 440, 2 meters and 440 Aggies. Now, it could be TV, but I doubt it. The TV antennas are like the one on the bottom there, and most all the homes have smaller antennas like that. This, to me, appears probably to be amateur or something. I don't know. I couldn't see if it had a rotor down there or not, but again, it kind of reminds me of the my 220 and my 2 meter and 440 antennas I have at home. This is a typical grocery store in Greece. They're really small. They have lots of fruit and things like that outside. Uh, hey, this is the end of one of the houses, and look at the rock, the block, and the brick that's underneath the surface there. Some of these houses are hundreds and hundreds of years old, and they just, have plastered on top of them or kept repairing them. But that's uh, that's one of the homes there. A lot of apartments are like that. I thought I'd do a close-up of one of the ships. Since this is a ham radio, we're always interested in antennas. See if you can pick out any antennas up there. I see at least on the top mast, I see at least one, two, maybe three rotating radars of some type. I assume that I don't know what's in the ball, the big golf ball there. I have no idea what that is. I'm sure it's some type of radar probably, or maybe it's satellite communication. I have no idea. There were a lot of fiberglass whip antennas on top. I suppose to talk within the ship because once you get out in the ocean, those VHF antennas aren't going to go very far. You got to also consider that the ship has uh, roughly maybe 5,000 people on it, maybe 3 or 4,000 guests, and then maybe 1,000 or 1,500 people that work on it. So it's actually larger than the city I grew up in. My city or town I grew up in as a kid had about 1,000 people. There's a shot in Qatar looking out our window across our balcony. We're just coming into Qatar, Montenegro. There is where this is, and there we are. There we left the cruise ship, and we're going to go on shore. I've had several people. I wore my Yazoo hat, and I had several people that came up to me and said, "Oh, you're a ham. I'm a ham from California." And I think one a Japanese guy came up to me He introduced himself as a ham. This place here, Cortor, uh, Monte Negro, probably was one of the best, prettiest sites that we visited. And we toured the island for a couple hours and took some pictures. Just sharing with you a few of our pictures here. You can see a ship. That's not ours. Ours is on down the bay there and around to the left, I think. But some cruise ships do come in. We actually came in through a tender. There's Kathy and me up there on the top. And, in Europe and places like this, they have no safety. You can be walking down the sidewalk and there can be a hole 6 foot deep in the sidewalk that your foot can go through. Right here, if you notice behind us, there's a ledge right there, and it pretty much goes straight down. So no ledge, no wire or anything here to keep you from going over. Not sure how many tourists they've lost there. At one of the restaurants, this is one of the fish. They had all the fish iced down there where you can see them before you go in. I don't know what type of fish this is, but it's got some big teeth there. Looks like it could be mean. Hey, one, guys, if you've never cruised before, pretty much everything is free. They take care of you. Everything is nice. You can eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, 24 hours a day. It's the biggest buffets you've ever seen, and they've got uh, what I guess hamburger joints on there. You can get a hamburger, you can get a hot dog. You can go to another one there. You can get pizza. They got a chef making pizzas all the time. This is my favorite place to go right here. This is ice cream. You can get as much ice cream as you want. Eat it and go back and say, I want another one. And so there's the ice cream right there. I just got me a nice vanilla cone right there. And it usually wouldn't last till I got back to our room. Okay, so you've seen the locations we've hit on this trip, and you've seen the map here, and I've got just a couple other videos. You may have seen one or two of these videos. I'm running them anyway in case someone didn't see it last time. So here we go. At least someone built this, and it's amazing. It's still here. It'd probably be here another 4,000 years. Can't tell you much about the place. It's just old, I can say that. Let's get a shot of this right here, Kathy. Come over here. Korean Gate is where we are. And this gate was,
Can't even tell if I'm getting it. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Cool. Let's move on.
This one.
Hey guys, this is Tom, W5KUB. I think we're on day something like 12 or something out of 20. Been traveling the Mediterranean. We're in Tunis, Tunisia. That's a country in northern Africa. So we're the continent of Africa right now. So anyway, just want to say hello to you there. I hope you're watching the show tonight. And we'll be back next week, hopefully. And just wanted to give you a quick report on how we're doing. We've seen a lot of things the past couple weeks here in Europe. I'll say send me threes to you, and we'll see you next week. We're in a theater. It's hard to believe the construction of this theater. And people sit in these seats thousands of years ago. We're going to go to a lot of places in Rome and Italy and Greece over the next couple of weeks, so we're bringing you a lot more pictures and videos. Enjoy the show. Okay, so there you have it. That's kind of a little recap of where we've been, and we still have to go to Rome, and we'll be going to Rome probably. We're at sea tomorrow. We're at sea today and sea tomorrow. But we'll be going to Rome. We're going to stay an extra couple, 2 or 3 days in Rome. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the video, and also we will see you again. I'll be on the show again next week. I think we should be back for the show next week.
And there you have it. That's Tom's check-in from somewhere in the Mediterranean. But now he is probably in the middle of Rome. In any case, let's bring Glenn back in. If I can. There we are. Okay. Oh, this. I think I'm taming this software. It may actually work now.
Brett, your audio's broke again. While Brett figures out his audio, we'll keep going, but let's see what I got.
Check.
There you go. You're back.
There we are. Okay. Yes, this app is full of bugs, but go ahead, Glenn.
Okay. Well, I was just going to say, got a little bit of news. I think I mentioned some of this last week. Talked to ARRL, and we are hashing out my next book, and believe it or not, it's not going to be Arduino. We're going to be updating the mesh networking book, and so basically the networking book for ARRL. Last one I did was like 10 years ago. We knew it was out of date the day we got it into print, and said we'd catch up to it later. Well, later is finally here, and so my next year is going to be spent updating the microwave and mesh networking book, as well as I've got an article coming up in On the Air, their publication for newer hams, called For Introduction to Microcontrollers. So we're still into the Arduino. We're still into the microcontrollers. And so got that going on the work front. Also have a review for a product called Radio Builder that I'm going to be getting started on here. Probably within the next week or so. Finally got a workspace about ready to go. So I've got that going on. And also this Friday, I'm going to be doing a Zoom presentation with the Huntsville Amateur Radio Club on the Arduino and microcontrollers. So we're keeping busy, and kick it back to you for now, and we'll save the Nixa stuff for the end there.
Okay, well, let's see. It is now it's now half past the hour, so I'm going to go ahead and run the obligatory advertising, and then we can go on and talk about Hamfests and other things.
Keep your competitive contesting edge with ICOM. Our high-powered base stations cut through the pile-ups, letting you work the bands and record those contacts. Contests from the comfort of your home or remotely with the RSBA1 app. Heard it, worked it, logged it. ICOM heard the call and has answered. The ICPW2 is here. Take your contesting experiences to the next level with ICOM's industry-first linear amplifier, which includes DPD, digital pre-distortion, and a built-in 2x6 automatic antenna selector for SO2R, which is single operator 2 radio operation. With the IC7610, faint signals are no longer challenging for DXers and contesters. This high-performance SDR radio changed the world's definition of an SDR transceiver. The high-powered base station features an RF correct sampling system, 110 dB RMDR, that can pick out the faintest signals, even in the presence of stronger adjacent signals, an independent dual receiver, dual digit select, and more. This is the SDR receiver that everybody wants. For more information, contact www.icomamerica.com/lineup/products/IC-7610.
And there we go. I don't know if I'm audible or not.
Yes, you are.
Good. Okay. Yes, there was a little bit of echo in there. When I turned off my own echo cancellation to try to keep from being muted, apparently it also caused the ad to echo, which is strange. But again, buggy software.
Yeah,
So
it's
anyway,
this app.
oh yes, just the app. Okay, so Glenn, what shall we do next? Do you want to show your slides?
Yeah, we can show my slides. Um,
Okay.
this weekend, I went up to Nixa, Missouri, about a 3.5 hour drive from here. And along the way, of course, we stopped for some lunch. And this was right across the street from the Burger King where I stopped to grab some lunch. I just love the name, Rust, Dust, and Wanderlust. I did not get a chance to go inside. I probably would have never come out. It was a really cool looking antique and flea market store. I'm definitely going to have to make a trip back just to check that one out. But
Cool.
that was just kind of cool. This is the drive up, and this is one of the reasons I moved to Arkansas. This is the drive up from Conway, Little Rock area up into the Nixa, Missouri area. We're still in Arkansas here in the Ozarks. And it was just a gorgeous drive going up and coming back. Going up, it was raining and dark, but it was still nice. And then here we are at the Nixa Hamfest itself. My understanding, they had about 50 something swap tables. They were all full. I sold out of everything that I brought. So it went really well for me. And as you can see, the attendance was pretty good. They had 2 forums. And next year, they're going to have me doing an Arduino forum there as well. I did one there several years back. And so that was the attendance there. And then, let's see. Here's the show from another angle. And you can just see this hall was nice and big. Lots of tables, lots of cool stuff. And they had really good stuff on the raffle table, too. We'll talk about that in a minute. You know, it's amazing how well I can do at the raffle when Tom and Joe Eisenberg aren't there. But here's another angle of the room. Really, really nice place. And I think this was their first year in this new building. And it was really enjoyable. This gentleman here had a whole stack of tubes and refurbished rotators. They were gorgeous. The tubes, of course, it was hard for me not to reach in and grab a handful. But there was just a lot of really good equipment there. For example, we've got this very nice old Philco radio that somebody had refurbished. And that thing is just absolutely gorgeous. And the price wasn't too bad, but that's some really, really good work on that one. And then, of course, your obligatory Drake station, the T4 and the R4, and even had the matching speaker and mic with it. Don't see that much very often, but again, beautiful, clean equipment there. Yeah, go ahead, Brett.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, you're just drooling. Okay.
No, I'm just scratching an itch. I'm fine.
Okay, I thought you were going to say something here. There's a beautiful FT101 EE. I thought about it long and hard at $300 and make an offer. That was very tempting, but I don't have room for what I got, so I passed on it, and it found a home later in the day. And of course, you've got a nice Collins amp right there. I can't read the model number on it, but really, really nice amplifier. And again, all of this stuff is really super clean and good looking. There's your, let's see, that's the SX140, and it looks like an S53A from Hallicrafters.
Yeah.
Again, look how clean those cases are. That's just really nice.
Hmm.
And here's a Viking 6N2 transmitter. Again, just absolutely gorgeous. I just fell in love with, every table had something to drool over.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a beautiful Collins 32S3A. I believe this was from Bob Heil's estate. Of course, this Hamfest was dedicated to the memory of Bob Heil. And I'm pretty sure that they said that is his 32S3. I don't believe the Heath kit is his. This was an estate sale table for the club, but I'm almost certain that the Collins rig was his. And of course, with Tom not there, look what happens. I
Didn't have
won
to
me.
fold your ticket special. Huh?
Yeah, well, I did, but yep, got me a B-Tech, which is another name for Baofeng, DMR 6X2 Pro. So I now have me a DMR radio. And if you go ahead and shut down the share there, Brett, got something interesting about this. We'll show you the inside in a minute, but see if you can read this label. Probably not, but I'll read you this little label. I'm still trying to figure it out. Device must be restricted to occupational use to satisfy FCC RF exposure compliance. See owner's manual for specific operating requirements. What's occupational use in ham radio?
That's kind of a contradiction. We're not supposed to be using this for business.
Right. I'm thinking that's supposed to be occasional use, and it got lost in translation.
Probably so.
But, here's the radio itself. I have never had a DMR radio, so this is going to be fun to learn and to play with. Brett, what can you tell us about DMR? Have you played with it at all?
I have a bit, and it's it's a lot of fun. It's cool because it's you can have digital repeaters. You can tunnel it through the internet and come out somewhere else, like you can with a couple of other things. But it's even more fun with DNR. One of the interesting things, although if you start doing it, everybody is going to ask you to do it constantly, is developing code plugs, which are configurations for channels in your DMR radio, and again, once figuring that out, well, it's even more complicated than setting up your typical VHF rig to work on a repeater. But once you figure, like I said, once you figure out how to do it, everybody will be beating down your door to ask you to do more of it.
That's kind of my understanding. I have not worked any DMR at all. So this is going to be a totally new experience to me to play with. I still haven't even programmed the radios out in the car yet to match the Conway area. So going to have to get around to doing that. I use Chirp for that kind of stuff though. Mm-hmm. But I've never played with DMR. And in all honesty, I have avoided it deliberately. But now that, when you hand me a free radio, I guess I can't do anything but learn it to play with it. So we're going to have to play with DMR. Any of y'all know anything about DMR, let us know. We'll bring you on the show and see if we can't get somebody on board to talk to us about it.
Yeah, I don't have the ability to open Tom's phone lines, or I'd do it, but yeah, definitely should.
Yeah, well, we'll get Tom to see what he can do and line us up with a DMR guy. Mm-hmm. And speaking about lining us up, I am, as I've said, while I'm doing this mesh networking book, I will be developing some Arduino stuff. But while I'm kind of taking a little bit of break, I got other irons going on in the fire that I really can't talk about just yet. But hopefully next week or the week after, we're going to have Guido Bonelli, the owner and president of Dr. Arduino, who you've heard me talk about his products for years. I've used them and love them. He is going to be coming on the show to discuss his new venture, the Dr. Arduino Academy, which is a total learning environment for the Arduino. Very interesting looking. Basically, you can pick a project and it will walk you through the building and programming of that project. And he's going to be here to talk about the satellite tracker project that he's got. And it's actually a derivative of the one in my first book. And he's really spiffed it up and added a 3D dish that's driven by stepper motors, and basically it will point and track at the satellites. And he's going to be talking about that here, like I say, next week or the week after. And looks really cool. As a matter of fact, he's got it. Those of you who are ARRL members, he actually has a picture of it in the this month's QST. And as I mentioned before, I just got the November-December issue of On the Air, and it looks like my article is going to be in the January-February issue of On the Air, and it looks to me like I'm going to be writing for them on a regular basis, not necessarily every month, but for a while I'm going to be writing some stuff for them probably for the next 6 months to a year. So
wow, this is going to keep you busy in retirement.
Yeah, but that's what I plan to do in retirement. So it's fitting in. I'm like I say, I'm finally getting the workspace set up. I'm painting in there tomorrow. And once the painting is done, then I can set up the desks and actually put up a soldering station and stuff like that. So slowly but surely it's getting there. Definitely not as fast as I want to. And I alluded to some of the medical things. Next Wednesday, not tomorrow, I'll be paying another visit to my cardiologist, and they're going to be sticking a very small camera into places we shall not discuss, and let them take a peek at the inside of the old ticker and see how things are doing there. Maybe find a couple set screws and tweak a few things. So they originally had it scheduled for next Tuesday, so I would not have been here, but they shifted it to Wednesday. And so far, everybody's talking. It's all good. It's just literally they're going to go in and give me a little tune-up. So that's, Wednesday a week from now.
Well, hopefully they won't find anything too unusual in there.
Now, they're not anticipating anything. They've already got all the imaging and everything. They just want to see it from the inside now. And like I say, had a really nice discussion with him. This is a new cardiologist because I moved to Conway. And it turns out that he was a colleague of my old cardiologist, and they were in a partnership for a number of years. So it's really nice, having that kind of close relationship with all the doctors, because it's almost like I haven't, changed anything at all, just got a different face. So it's working out really good.
Well, there you go. Hopefully they will keep you healthy for a long time.
Oh yeah, looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see here. Gotta make sure. I just got a couple quick messages, just making sure that because I got one from Nixa, and I don't know if it was in relation to what I've just said. Nope. So anyway, yeah, they're going to set me up to do a forum there at Nixa next year. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a Zoom session for the Huntsville Club this Friday night at 7.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I had planned to do in my retirement, was to sit back, relax, play Arduino, write, and just enjoy things. And that's where we're heading. I don't know of any Hamfest coming up, though, for the next few months. I think the Jackson Hamfest in January would be the next one. I think there's one in, just across the river from St. Louis. That Winterfest, I can't remember the city, but Joe Eisenberg went there, and I think I'll go there this year as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think there's a whole lot of Hamfest between now and the first of the year.
There are a few. I remember over Thanksgiving in 2019, just before COVID hit, I was in Los Angeles over Thanksgiving, and I went to the big TRW electronics swap, which they have in the parking lot of TRW near LAX.
Oh, wow.
And the Thanksgiving one was a real big one. They had a lot of booths. ARRL actually had a booth there. And there was there were tons of ham radio gear, every tool you could possibly want. I'm sure that's going to be going on again. And let's see, looking at the ARRL page, what do I see going on here? Let's see. See a Hamfest in Slidell, Louisiana. Um, okay, Fort Wayne, Indiana. This is all coming up this coming weekend. Northeast Nebraska, Norfolk, Nebraska. Let's see. There are a few others here. They're having some sort of swap or flea market at the University of Miami. It's called Flamingo Net in Coral Gables, which is near Miami, Florida. Um, let's see. In December, there usually is not much. Um, Looking to see what else. Another thing in Florida, they're having a Hamfest in Palm Beach as well in Florida. So looking down the list, there's a couple of others. There's in Arizona, they're having in Mesa, Arizona, they're having the Super Fest Hamfest, and that's going to be the first weekend of December. Um, Various others around I'm just looking. They're kind of scattered around, but there aren't that many, and there are not any real big ones. First of the year, though, beginning of the year, they're going to do the annual Ham Radio University, which is in New York City and Long Island. They're going to do that one in Brookville, which is Long Island, New York, and that's a good one to attend, which is it's sort of similar to the DX University that they have at Dayton, but it's not associated with a big Hamfest. And then we get into next year. I'll be looking forward to some of the ones they have here down in Colorado on the Front Range, and that ought to be a lot of fun too.
Yeah, for me, that one I was trying to remember was the Winterfest in Collinsville, Illinois, and that's January 18th. And then, of course, Orlando is right after that, February 7th through 9th, thereabouts. I will be doing an Arduino forum there. And love going to Orlando that time of year. Of course, I'm originally from Miami and West Palm Beach, and I actually lived in Orlando, for probably about 3 or 4 months while I was waiting for an assignment on a job. Mm-hmm. And anyway, I meet up with some old friends, and I normally go down a day or two early, and we go have fun. Last year, we did the Universal Studios. Don't know exactly what we're going to do this year, but they mentioned we might want to take the train. Never knew about that one. Down to Fort Lauderdale, back to our old stomping grounds and play.
Oh, you're talking about the train to Fort Lauderdale. I thought you were talking about the train ride that they have inside Universal Studios.
No. This year we're talking the train ride to Fort Lauderdale.
Ah, okay.
So,
yep. Hamcation is quite an event. I've never been, and I don't know if I'm going to go this time. But while I was at the Huntsville Hamfest, one of the few times I've ever won anything in a raffle, I won 2 tickets to it. So I'm either going to go or I'm going to have I'm going to have Tom use Hambot to raffle them off.
Cool. Yeah, we haven't seen Hambot for a while. He's time to get him off of vacation.
Oh yeah, no, he's still here. We've even got him here in the app.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he's here.
No, we are not giving out my prizes. Oh, but.
Yes.
Yeah, so, go ahead.
Well, yeah, when Kathy is the Hambot expert, and so when Tom and Kathy get back, then I'm sure they can run it and give away some prizes.
Yeah, see if we can't get Dr. Arduino to give us away a few things here when he's on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And just have all sorts of fun things. Like I say, I really wish I could talk about a lot of the things I got going on. Let's just say there's going to be a lot of Arduino level building going on here, both for books and for other projects. And let's just say I get emails on a daily basis asking me the status of my workspace. So things are fixing to hit high gear, but it's what I plan to do in retirement. So it's really going to work out well. And I'm looking forward to it. Also, I think Tom's planning to launch another balloon here soon. And,
Yeah. Did you hear
looking
about that
forward.
one micro balloon which has been up in the Arctic for something like 500 days?
No.
Yeah, there's if you go to if you go to the QRZ homepage, there's an article there about somebody whose micro balloon has miraculously lasted even in absolutely frigid conditions up near the poles, and it's just been going round and round.
Well, if you think about it, at the altitude it's at, 30 something thousand feet, the temperature is not going to change that much. And there's no high altitude thunderstorms to really mess with it. So, the weather at that altitude is realistically pretty stable for it. So that thing could stay up there forever.
Oh yeah. Well, it's been that particular balloon has just been really lucky, and I'd like to see Tom launch another one and match that. That'd be a lot of fun.
That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah. I mean, the one that he had for 200 something days, or actually it went a year, if I'm not mistaken. That was a lot of fun to track and to watch. So, and that's another thing. ARRL wants an article on the Pico balloons, and going to be working with some folks on getting one of those put together. I may not be the official writer for it, but going to get some folks together and come up with a collaborative work for that as well, because it seems like everybody's wanting to do the balloons. John in the chat room here, AC8XU, is talking about his club is going to be launching a balloon soon too. And John, yes, I can threaten the cats with being a prize, but you're on your own to pay for the food for these things. And let me explain something about the litter box with 3 Maine Coons. Have you ever cleaned up after a Shetland pony? Clean up after 3. Welcome to my house. And at 2:00 in the morning, Sasquatch decides he's going to be digging to China. So while they are very fastidious and very clean, they are a lot to keep up with, both in the going in and the going out parts.
Wow. So it's like mucking out a stable.
Pretty much. But at the same time, all 3 of them love to sleep on the bed with me. And it's really, really nice because, you don't even need a blanket in the winter. They'll just snuggle up right to you. And Bill Brown is saying that he's got one up that's been up for 10 days and is 90% of the way around the world, currently approaching Mexico. And it's W4CQD-4. 10 days, Bill? That thing is flying. What is the ground speed on that thing? But I mean, when you think about it, what's the circumference of the world? 16,000? No, that's the diameter, 16, isn't it? So,
well, it took Phileas Fogg 80 days.
Yeah. He said it was 182 miles an hour at one point over the Pacific. That's amazing. And KE6GAE, yes, I did enjoy the Hamfest. You may have gotten here late, but I showed some pictures of it. You guys had some really, really nice gear. Very, very clean. I was impressed at how clean the older gear was. I mean, I was embarrassed to have my stuff there, but it was beautifully clean. It was very hard for me not to bring home a pile of stuff, and I did not get a picture of this. I did buy me a Heathkit SG8 signal generator while I was there, just to complete out my set. And that's going to be a new project to refurbish that as well. A lot of Heathkit gear there, a lot of good Yaesu gear, and just basically in general, the gear was just really great. This was one of the better Hamfests I've been to in a while.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be a lot coming up, and by the way, one that I didn't mention, and I guess it's still a little bit early to talk about it, is on the Front Range of Colorado. They have two Hamfests very close together, and the first one of the year is always in Loveland, Colorado. And that's the winter Hamfest held by the Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club, which is sort of also there's also a sort of a subgroup of those people who run the WWV Amateur Radio Club. It's right nearby, and they have a wonderful Hamfest. It's you just about anything that you put on your list to pick up, you could probably find there. So I'm looking forward to that. But right now, I'm for, making plans for Thanksgiving and weatherproofing everything so that I can participate in some of the winter events that'll be on the air.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, this weekend is the sideband portion of the sweepstakes.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't have a station up, but that's the plan. Is on a good day here, I'm going to at least get a dipole strung up or end fed hooked up. John, AC8XU, is saying the Fort Wayne Hamfest is this Saturday that he's going to be going to.
Mm-hmm.
And
yep, Fort Wayne, Indiana.
And Bill is saying that balloon that he's talking about is on 10-meter whisper. 10's had great propagation. I'm dying to get back on 10 and 6. And 6 has been open as well with a lot of DX, and seen it all on 6-meter FT8. And again, I'm just dying to get my 6-meter station back up.
Well, now's the time while the sun is active.
Yes. Well, hopefully here by Christmas, I will at least have something functional up in the air. I finally got my attic all finished up and everything's stowed away and organized. And I've got my end fed laying out on a table in the garage, ready to go. So just as soon as I can get that back room set up, the station's going to be hooked up, and at least we'll get something on the air.
Oh yeah, I'm just about. I'm pretty much finished with reworking my Delta loop. It's now being tensioned instead of having rubber bungees which snap. It's now being tensioned by sash weights, and those will they're actually taken out of old windows that we've replaced. And that's hopefully going to hold them pretty stable. The hardest thing about using the sash weights is getting pulleys that'll that'll direct they'll direct the tension in the right direction. And also, you have to make sure that if the weights swing, they don't hit your house.
Yes.
So I've engineered all of that, and it just looks like it's going to be pretty stable. And yes, I see in the chat W8ELK. Saying the Delta Loop is a nice antenna. Yeah, I find it's just really versatile. It's really good for working multiple bands especially if you put a remote tuner right in the middle of the loop somewhere, either at the apex or in the longest leg. I find that you can tune them to a lot of bands. And I have one little trick that I use. I have a loading coil with a relay in it so that I can switch it in and out. And so if I want to work if I want to work a long wavelength and it just doesn't really want to tune up real well, what I do is I open the relay, and suddenly I'm adding a lot of length of wire to the antenna. It becomes less efficient, but it will tune up on it will tune up on one of the top bands.
Very nice. Trying to find a picture here. Maybe I can find it here real quick. But talking about Christmas and Christmas presents, I'll see if I can't find something here real quick. But
when it comes to ham radio and I'm thinking of Christmas, unfortunately, one of the things I think of is Christmas lights. It's one of the sources of QRM that I'm always having to fight.
That's something that I'm a little worried about. Let's see. Do you have that on that new picture up on the share that you can see?
Yes, I do. And here it is.
Okay. Not that. I need to change my sharing. Hang on.
Okay.
That one. Talking about things to buy for Christmas and stuff. This is my latest Arduino book, The Best of Arduino Projects for Ham Radio. This actually takes a handful of the best projects from the first 3 Arduino books, updates them. If you notice when I create these projects, I always leave a little bit left for you, the reader and builder, to add on your own special touches. But I went ahead and finished these out totally, gave them all the really cool add-ons and functionality. And this book is now available for ARRL. So if you're looking for something to give your geek for Christmas, this would be something to consider. So just thought I'd throw that in there.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so Christmas is coming, guys. I mean, I
And
don't
Black
know what I
Friday is
want for
coming.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I wish I could. I was hoping that this week I would be able to show some of the Black Friday sales, but the ham radio vendors are playing all of their cards real close to their vests.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, they've been doing that. Yeah, they're not going to tell us until the morning of, probably.
Yeah, I checked out. I checked up HRO. Nothing there yet. Gigaparts had kind of a teaser. It was a pre-Black Friday sale, but actually not that much ham radio gear. It was mostly mostly just general electronics stuff. And DX Engineering also nothing. So they're waiting to unveil what they're going to be putting on sale. I suppose and I don't know whether whether the manufacturers are giving them deals to pass on. So don't know what's up yet. Maybe we'll know by next week.
Yeah, well, probably not. Yeah, they're probably going to make us wait until Black Friday before we really get to see what's going on.
Yeah, or Thanksgiving, maybe noontime Thanksgiving. Right when you're right when you're full of turkey.
Yeah. All right. Well, here we can start this fun little debate. How many of us actually set up for Christmas before Thanksgiving? And how many of us are traditionalists like me and refuse to do any Christmas until after Thanksgiving?
I start seeing it around Halloween.
Yeah, I know. I've got a house down the street from me. He's still got his Halloween decorations up, and he's got Thanksgiving and Christmas out.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know. I was just kind of raised a traditionalist, and I mean, we do not do Christmas until after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, there's this song that I sometimes perform, which was written by the comedy group Paul and Storm, which is called the Way Too Early Christmas Song, which sort of talks about how day after Halloween suddenly all the Christmas decorations go up in the mall.
Yeah. But the cool thing is, it's that time of year now. It's going to be getting cool. You're talking about snow. We've only had a couple of cool days, really. It's still up in the 60s during the day. Not bad at all. Mm-hmm. But keep expecting it to really turn cold here real soon. Interesting thing, though, as we've talked about, my house has solar panels. And last month, we had virtually zero rain and virtually zero clouds. So the solar panels were...
You probably had zero electric bill.
It was amazing. I think my total kilowatt hour usage was in the 500s, and the panels generated 280 kilowatt hours. So I only had to pay for like 220 kilowatt hours of electricity.
That is amazing. I wish I could do that. Yeah.
I'm well, I did not intend, the house just happened to come with them. And this was the house that I just happened to like. And it was kind of like, oh, cool. It's got solar panels. And that just really, really surprised me. Still waiting to see how much noise will be an issue to me. Matter of fact, I think in this month's QST or somewhere, maybe it was on the air, somewhere I saw how to deal with noise from the solar panel system. And that's you put some toroids on the lines. And just basically RF chokes to kill out. They say it's inverter noise from the panels.
Well, yeah, the only it's the same thing as the Christmas LEDs. What you've got is transistors and diodes switching on and off real fast. Transistors in the case of the inverter, diodes in the case of the LEDs, and they make square waves. And boy, that's, square wave by definition, if you've ever studied signal processing, a square wave has every frequency in it.
Yes.
Every one. If you take a Fourier transfer of it, it looks like a straight line. So there's nothing that it won't interfere with. And that's what you have to filter out.
Yeah. And that's really the thing is, those sharp, up and down spikes of the square wave is where all of that noise is coming from. Mm-hmm. And, if you think about it, the SI5351 signal generator VFO chip that's used in a lot of these radios these days, it's a square wave generator. And you've got to have really, really good filtering to take out that square wave. Otherwise, you've got harmonics up and down the band. And those are not good things.
Yep. Well, you need toroids and capacitors and shields.
And that's why I like the DDS, the 9850 DDS, because it's a very, very smooth sine wave. And but it's 0 to 50 megahertz, whereas the 5351 goes up to 160 megahertz. So you're trading off a little bit, but that's something to think about as well. And of course, the 9850 is a little bit larger than most of your 5351 modules. So again, it's down to size. One of the things I'm going to be playing with, we talked about the 5351 for the transmit side. And then on the receive side, they've got a new chip, the 4735, which is a sideband AM, CW, everything receiver for AHF. And going to be playing with that and trying to build basically a 2-chip transceiver. And seeing what it's going to take to get sideband onto that thing as well. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be one of my projects for the coming year.
Yeah. Well, that all sounds good. Do we have, let's see, anything else we want to cover before we sign off? It looks like we've just gotten to the 1 hour mark.
No, I'm pretty much tapped out at this point. It's working on the house during the day and chilling in the evening. And of course, the cats are just absolutely loving the new place. And I'm surprised I don't have one here with me, because that cubby hole behind me is where Rodan likes to live. Mm-hmm. I don't have their furniture and shelves and stuff up yet because I haven't painted in here. Once I do that, we'll have Sasquatch right here on my right. And I'll have Rodan up here on the desk probably. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we'll have those up here soon, hopefully by Christmas.
Yeah. Well, great. Okay. Well, if we don't have more to cover, then we can sign off a little bit earlier than usual. Tom will be back next week from the Mediterranean, all suntanned and refreshed. And I'm working also on some more ham radio music, so maybe I'll get a chance to perform that.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yes, love that. Perfect in time for Christmas and stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, that's actually, I was thinking of seeing what I could do to write a ham radio Christmas song. It might be a lot of fun.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks everybody for joining us tonight, and we will see you next week on Amateur Radio Roundtable. Take care. 73.
Good night.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.